How's it going, everybody? Man, oh man, has it been a few weeks for us. Todd has come back with the post-game shows. I was sick as a dog last week. I'm sure we'll get into all that. But what are we here to talk about today? Well, we're going to take three positives from this season so far and three negatives and really talk about how positive the positives are and how negative the negatives are. Todd, hit the music.
Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South Sinclair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show.
In the land of Astros, I play my part with the Halos in the infield. I'll make my mark. I'm the Lone Star Halo, shining bright tonight. In a sea of rangers, I'll stand and fight with the Halos in the outfield under stadium lights. From Texas to Anaheim, we'll soar to new heights. We'll soar to new heights.
Hey, welcome into the Haiti Daily Podcast Show. It's been a while since we've been on. Do you blame us? Like Fernando said in the previous intro there, he was down with a fever, down with a sickness, as the Serb would say. And I was just downright sick from the Angels watching them play. But we'll get more into that. Positives and negatives, my friend. Let's take it away.
Yeah. A lot to be positive about and a lot to be negative about.
Just a tad.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, here comes Todd busting up the scroll. Now that scroll goes all the way from Disneyland Drive all the way down Catella.
It's like that meme, Fernando, where you would see Understanding a Man, a book, and it's like real small. And then the book of Understanding a Woman, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, man. There's a laundry list, and I'm sure we're really gonna get into all of it. We'll go down that laundry list when we do the end of season show, and probably when we do the Catella Awards. We'll get into some of that negative stuff too. There's always an award for something negative, and the fans love it.
Mm-hmm.
But today we'll take three of the big points from both sides and kind of go from there. How do you want to get into it?
I think we could start with how they're playing right now. Negative for me, right off the bat, because you know me, I'm a negative Nancy. They got 93 losses, bro.
93 losses?
And with 6 games to play. Fernando.
Go to Brewery X. OG's Pizza.
Are you okay?
What happened?
Are you all right?
I don't know, man. Like I said, I've been sick for a while. It's fine.
Are you taking your antibiotics?
No, I don't take antibiotics.
Okay, just check.
I don't believe in those. I just kind of eat McNuggets.
Okay.
Whatever. What's our promotion this year, man? You know, sometimes they give you like a free burger or something. Sometimes we get the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. That's what I believe in. Whatever they're gonna feed us, it nourishes us, Angels fans. That's kind of the only thing I eat.
So you're good with Chick-fil-A and French fries?
Yeah, medium French fries only, with a minimum of $1 purchase.
Oh. Well,
Yeah. This is why I'm healthier than you are, Todd. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say that.
I mean, I have put on the weight, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's almost medium price.
But getting back to it, I think we were talking about 93 losses. They only need 2 more to tie. There's 6 games to play. They have 3 with Chicago. They're going to beat that record, right? They're going to have at least, 96, 97 losses?
I mean, look, even if they do, because you know what? The record is what it is. We can't do anything about the record. we just kind of have to accept what it is, man. I mean, it's been a fun season. It's been a
What?
great season. There's been a lot to enjoy. There's been a lot of good like post-game banter. I've really been loving the Trent Rush shows. What else is there?
Hold on. We don't promote that jack off on this channel.
Oh, sorry. The Gavin guy. Yeah,
No,
the
not that-
locked on, the
not
locked on LA guy. He's great too.
Look, nobody watches him.
He's a credentialed journalist, Todd. What have you been doing for the last 4 years? Okay.
This podcast apparently, but listen, we've got more people watching us now on a record between me and you than he does on his show nightly. That's live. But that's not.
Here comes the negativity. It's fine.
What's going on with you? You were just fine a second ago, and then your camera glitched. You coughed a bit. Now all of a sudden, it's like French fries are great. AM 830 is awesome. I mean, you're part of Heedy. What's going on here?
Don't forget the part that I like OGs, but I mean, everyone loves OGs.
Oh,
and right and left turns. Nobody likes right turns. Have you seen NASCAR?
Did you get the infection? Is there like a fungus of AM 830 growing on your walls?
I don't think so. There might be. This is Texas, man.
I mean, unless it's the Tebow jersey. I mean,
anyway. So let's get into some of these negatives. I want to get that out of the way. Let's go ahead. We'll dump those out.
Are you auditioning for the third Super Halo brother?
They have a third Halo brother.
Oh, they do.
They do. He's not part of the show. See, you would listen if you were an everydayer.
Well,
if you were an everydayer, you would know.
I'm not an everyday. I'm sorry. Getting back to it, we have 6 games left. We got the Detroit Tigers and then the current world champions until dethroned the Texas Rangers to close out the season here.
Wait, you mean the Chicago White Sox? You said Detroit Tigers.
Oh, yeah, my bad. We got the White Sox at 120 losses. We get them right now. They're preparing to play them tomorrow. 3 games set. Then we fly back for whatever reason here to play Texas, the current world champions, till dethroned, to close out the year. How many games are we winning out of those 6?
I think all 6. Now, I think the reason for that is the White Sox are having a terrible season.
No.
Those fans have nothing to be happy about, okay? They put a field in the middle of nowhere. I would say effing nowhere, but I can't use those dirty words. My dad spanks me, okay? We can't use those dirty words. So, but did you see that? Did you see that they put a field in the middle of nowhere to try to show where they're going to get a stadium?
No, what I've seen that was appalling is tickets were going as low as $2 for the Angels series against those same Sox here last week. Yet in Chicago, with about 60 more losses, it feels like they have $2. They have $4 tickets. Their tickets are more expensive to go there than it is to come here.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Artie wants the fans to come out and have a great experience. And have you seen the scoreboard graphics they have here? It works every time. The numbers are always updated. The staff does a great job. Those hype videos are great. And there's just so much positive about going to an Angels game. See, for $2 each, you can bring the whole family, have a great time. For $4, that's a lot less French fries. I'm just saying. That's the only thing I can say right now.
You're still paying $26 for a helmet nachos. That's in theory. If you're taking 2 people to an Angel game plus parking, you're paying for one helmet nacho more than the tickets and the parking.
Okay. I want to calm down a little bit because you're triggering me, and I need to stay calm because this team is perfect. The pricing is perfect, and you, sir, are a negative Nancy. Okay. The helmet nachos are appropriately priced for a baseball stadium. And don't even get me started with those Kathy's cookies. That'll get your buns in a rum, you know?
Okay, until you said buns and a rum, I was with you with the Kathy's cookies.
Okay.
Now, since we're on food,
the
hot dogs, you can't tell me and you talked about buns. The weenies, the Hoffy hot dogs are worse in baseball. I don't like them. Some people do. I don't like them.
I love whatever the organization gives us. You know, nothing's worse than You know, I used to love the Farmer John's hot dogs, and then they got rid of those, and Farmer John's was dead to me. Okay,
You know what?
dead. Uh-huh.
I really need to send a text to your girl right now, somehow on social media, and let her know that you're in deep trouble because you are not the same person. Something happened. Did you walk into something and get a Tunga Baloa concussion?
The Tua Tagovailoa. Who's that? I don't watch.
A
What sport
Miami
does he
Dolphin
play?
quarterback that has way too many concussions. Did you get yourself a
I
concussion?
I don't watch football. It's a little too barbaric for me. I'm much more of a luge kind of guy. I like
Oh,
curling. You know, the Olympic winter sport where the people with the brooms they go. You know,
yeah. Anything
yeah.
with a stick, right?
Yeah, somebody definitely is going to take that frame of me doing that and show that forever. But it's okay.
Please, Randy.
As long as they're positive about it. As long as they're positive and they use it for positive messages, because that's what it's all about. So anyway, we've gone a little bit too long with this subject. We need to keep going to negative number 2. But hey, I don't see the ticket prices being a negative. I just don't.
Okay, fine. Let's move on to
Okay.
actual players. I'm gonna throw you a couple players, and you
Okay.
tell
And
me
these
how
are negative,
positive.
right?
Yeah, this is my
Okay.
negative takes,
Okay.
but I want to hear Mr. I'm gonna start calling you Mr. AMA 30 because you're going with it, and
No, I
I
love
don't
that
know
radio station. I listen to it all the time when Rich Eisen's on. Todd, I have a great time. That's all I can say. I laugh
if you
nonstop.
listen to the horse racing show on Sundays.
Uh, That's how I find out about the bet of the week. Oh. Oh. And don't forget the food show with
Mr. Dill,
yes, Mr. Dill in your mouth.
he's got a pickle for you.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah. Let me. That's the first thing. The second thing we've agreed on. I'm gonna throw up Brennan Drury. That to me is the dumbest decision to keep him all season long. You should have cut him before the trade deadline. Why did this guy suck up at bats? Even if we have single leg guys we just got off the street are better than this guy. Talk about a fall from grace. There's no positive spin on him.
That's not true. Has he been healthy most of the year?
Most of the year, but defensively, he's a liability at that too. He's terrible. He strikes out all the time.
Look, the way I see it, he's batting 167. Okay, and even I will admit that's a little low, just a little bit. But he's got 4 solo shots, and Todd, I love solo shots. You should have seen me at the Big A, Mister. Okay, some people call him Dumbo, but I think it's a little mean. Mister Ward hit a home run, and I was sitting there like this. Somebody said that you guys had a video about that, but I don't know. But that's what you should have seen me up there, man.
You mean you were like this?
I was just doing it right now.
Yeah, but what good is a home run when it's a solo blast and the offense doesn't do anything the rest of the game?
Well, you get to see the fire go phew. That's always great. Um, everyone gets excited for like 2 or 3 seconds. Which is good because it gets kind of scary when people cheer for too long. You only want them to cheer for a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
No.
like, if it's like a solo home run, people cheer for like a minute, and then everyone kind of goes back to like their Hoffy hot dogs and their reasonably priced beers. But after that, it's
And they
normal again. See, but like sometimes you go to those dirty birdies up north, and like you should see the Cholo guys. They're like, "Hey, Efe, hey, Efe, we just hit a home run, Efe," and I get kind of scared. I have to hold my.
By the way, he can say that because he's Mexican, so not me.
Yes, yeah.
Even though he's whiter than I am, he is technically Mexican.
Yes,
But
yeah.
but here's
I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican because I have one Mexican friend, so I can say things like that.
stupid. Don't get yourself canceled. Stick to the truth on this one. So anyway, moving on.
I will say at discretion, I am full Mexican, 100%.
There you go. Now,
all right, and back in character.
yes. Now, what I'm saying is you can't polish a turd. So Brendan Drury is that turd on your yard, you got to scoop it up and get rid of it that the dog left. You don't leave it there and paint it and say, well, it's just going to fit in at some point with the rest of the grass. No, it doesn't work that way. And I think as much as you see that pile of crap on our Angels field,
I'd appreciate if you polish your language up a little bit. Sorry.
There's an even bigger pile of poop, which if you've seen Jurassic Park 1 and Jeff Goldblum says that's a big piece of, you know what, that is the jersey that you're wearing right now, Anthony Rendon.
What
You're
are you
wearing
saying?
an Anthony Rendon jersey.
Yeah, what are you saying? What's wrong with that?
He sucks. He sucked the life out of us. He's a sucker fish. He's a flea. He's anything that drains you slowly without you knowing until it's too late. That is him.
Okay, look. I understand that some people don't like Anthony Rendon. I mean, he's batting .218, also not great. He hasn't hit any solo shots, so he has not made me go. But he does have 14 RBIs. And guys, you know what? For once, we finally got a little bit of emotion for him. You know what? He actually kind of, even I was a little negative toward him. I'll admit that. But even I felt bad for the guy for once.
Why would you why would you feel bad for a guy who doesn't care about the organization?
He does. He came here, Todd. He came here
for the money. And then what did he say? He says baseball seasons are too long and they need to be shortened. And he doesn't like baseball. It's God and family first. Now, we've talked about it multiple occasions on a real show like ours, saying that God and family are important. Absolutely. But when you do your job, just like if you're working at a paper mill and they're trying to weed through the people that are lazy and don't really care, they're going to come to you at some point and be like, do you like your job? And you may hate your job, but it pays the bills. And you say, oh, I love my job. I don't want to go nowhere. You still have to put on that front and say, hey, man, I do like this job. It pays the bills. It gives me my lifestyle. It's not above God. It's not above my family, obviously, but I love playing the sport. Lie. I rather him lie, but he doesn't even do that. So not only do you not have any talent on the field, you've clearly checked out since game 1 4 seasons ago, and then you lie or you straight up just don't even give a crap. Then those might be your truths, but you don't even give a crap, man. How can you support a loser like that?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. It was a little too negative for me. But I'll say this. Okay. Anthony Rendon is a great player. I am happy he's here with us. Because, I mean, who else would play third base, Todd? There's nobody else. No, not anyone. The guy working the Modelo porch could not play third base for us. I know you would think people like you might say, oh, at this point, we might as well have open tryouts. I'm so tired of all that. But you know what? I will say we need pitching because every true Angels fan knows that always we need pitching. So I'll leave it at that. I don't care who's playing third base. It's all about who's throwing the ball up there, Mr. Man.
Oh, I bet you believe this too, right?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Absolutely. The season always starts tonight. And it's the same thing I've been telling myself in my marriage for the last 26 years. The marriage starts tonight.
Is that why it went so well? Listen.
That was offensive.
Hey, well, you can throw it back at me too, man. It's not like I'm sitting there 1 for 1 myself.
Oh, you're 0 for 2.
Hey.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know what, Todd? You're not married right now. You will hopefully soon. And when that comes, the season will start tonight.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, there you go. With medium French fries, may I add. Medium French fries.
I want that Chick-fil-A sandwich.
5 runs or more.
Better get that at the wedding. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. And since you're being such a freaking honk for some reason, thoughts on this?
Oh, it's like my mating call. As every time I hear that, you know what? I will not say, I will not speak those words, but I get excited.
Okay, let's move on. Please, let's move on. Now, you mentioned pitching.
Yeah,
Pitching has not been the problem this year. Now,
it's
Reed
always the
Detmer
problem, Todd.
sucks.
It's always
Reed
what?
yes, he sucks.
What?
Yes.
Reed Detmers is the equivalent of a Greek god. Some of us don't understand baseball the way others do. Okay, look, you can say whatever you want on your little show, but what you will not do is slander my king, Reed Detmers. Okay.
Reed Detmer sucks. He's garbage. He's a head case. And then you have Griffin Canning, who loses a mile per hour on that fastball every start.
It's okay.
Um,
Speed isn't everything. Speed isn't important. There, I said it. Oh, haven't heard that since my honeymoon.
Listen, you're turning into like the biggest honk right now. The listen, we've had some pitching issues, no doubt, but for the most part, it seems like the plug and play pitchers we've been using from the minors all the way through off the scrap heap, off of waivers, like they're working. And I've given a lot of credit to, if I could be positive, to Ron Washington and the pitching coach. What's his name? Barry or
Marion, right?
Barry Enright.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as like there's no doubt we need an ace. We're gonna need some pitching, but to me, the hitting is just disabled this year. It's terrible. Like there's so much problems with the way they approach the plate, the way they hit your solo home runs, but don't do anything else. We lose a lot more games because of our hitting. You can't spin it any other way.
Solo shots are still runs. That's what I'm going to say there. Being disabled, there is nothing wrong with that, including an offense. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The offense is fine. The guys score runs in singles, and that's fine. Everyone loves singles. Uh, the ladies song by Beyonce, the cheese craft singles. People love singles. People love solo shots, which is a single run. So you can look at it whichever way you want, but runs are runs, Mr. Fox. I'm just gonna say that.
But we don't score enough of them. Do you know that right now we are negative 163 in the run differential?
Um, I I don't know what that means. I just know every time I go to the Big A, it's a good time. Okay,
That
that's
means
all
the
I know.
opponent has scored 163 more runs than we have.
I
Whereas
can't hear you.
whereas
All right,
good
must be an OG's ad or a Deo.
listen, most teams that are winners score more than their opponent. So the fact that we're negative 163, and I remember a famous quote by Ron Washington, we're going to run the West. You can take that to the bank and book it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was so excited when he said that.
I
I
think,
cannot tell you how excited I was.
well, did you
And he's
take
been right. He's been right. We've run the division down.
Yeah, if we run
Like
it down
P.
to fifth
Diddy
place,
running down some baby oil. We have run the division down, Mr. Fox.
I think we've slipped on the baby oil all the way to fifth place. I mean, listen, I haven't seen the
Washington
Angels.
did not break a hip, so
I have not seen the Angels in fifth place in a long time. I mean, a long time. And that goes back to maybe when they had like, I think 8 or 9 teams in division a long time ago. This is outrageously bad. I mean, when you're finishing lower than a team that doesn't give a flying F to save your ears from bleeding about playing in Oakland when they're moving to Vegas, they've got nothing to play for, no talent on the field, and they're still better than we are.
let me tell you this. You know what the best part about being all the way at the bottom is? There's only one way up, and there's only one way to go, and that's
I don't know.
up. If you're all the way down at the bottom, the only place you can go is up. And nothing brings me more hope than Arturo Moreno being our owner.
Wait.
Yeah.
You like Artie Moreno?
Why wouldn't I?
Because he doesn't spend on the team. The team is
He
crap.
doesn't need to spend on the team, Todd, because we're going to go to the games anyway, and we're going to have fun. You know what the best part is?
What?
When you go, the Deo's hit, and everyone does the wave. Ooh.
Stop it. Get some help.
That was offensive.
Well, I mean, come on. How can you listen? Bandai Namco, ice cream's running the bases on the jumbotron.
Sounds incredible.
You got the kid stealing third every
Oh
five.
my God. He does it every time. Every time I get nervous, I sweat like a horse. And then all of a sudden, the little kid picks up the base. And the best part, the strike force, they're not supposed to do this. But when the kid's not going to make it, they start running towards the kid so the kid can cross the finish line. And then sometimes I think the operator slows the clock down. Whew, every time I sweat, but they always do it.
You realize it's the same crap all the time.
Yeah, it's great every time. It's been great for the last 10 years, and I've loved it every time. Okay.
I don't understand it.
Damn!
I mean,
God, that makes me want some Carl's Jr. in the center field or whatever the heck we have there now.
what do you think? What do you think Gooby's like performance is? Because you hear this.
Oh God, I miss when Otani would do something and they would play that. Oh man, it would tickle my innards. Let me tell you that much.
I don't want to know what's getting tickled on your innards, but I have a good feeling I know where it's at, and I don't want to bring it up for sake of
Probably my
children who
brother.
are watching and listening. Now, I don't understand though how you can be this positive. This is not the Fernando that I know. Fernando that I know that is very, hey, can be when I get optimistic, you usually talk me down. What the hell happened? Did lightning strike you or something? Because you're wearing a Rendon jersey, you're very honkish.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I
very
know.
skeptical of what's going on here.
There's just a lot to be positive about. The season's almost over. I'm very sad about it, but I cannot wait to see what Perry Minasi is going to do with this squad. I'll tell you what, we're going to probably get everybody. We're going to get Juan Soto. We're going to get Corbin Burns. We're going to get Shane Bieber. We're going to get Justin Bieber. Heck, it doesn't matter. We're going to get everybody. We're going to get the guy who took my Whataburger order yesterday. Let's give everyone a chance. Everyone's going to have a good time. But are you done with your negatives so we can move on to the positives?
All right, what's the positives, man?
Okay, all right. So I have a couple positives. Number one, Zach Neto. Man, oh man, G. Willikers is that guy fun to watch. Man, he's hit a couple of Deos this year. He's hit a couple of doubles this year. You can just about get that man a gold glove. Maybe not this year because, there's politics in the game. And he's still early. But man, oh man, that guy is going to be the future of this franchise. Mike Trout never gets hurt. And I cannot wait for his healthy season next year and the season after that. But, eventually, one day, he's probably going to get hurt or old and retire. And when that time comes, this is going to be Zach Neto's team.
The dogs aren't even liking that take, to be honest with you.
Oh, they're just so excited about the Angels game playing in the other room. And before you say there's no Angels game today, the O2 World Series is always playing in my house.
Listen, I know you got that on replay, but listen, I'm just going to share something with you. The Angels haven't been in last place since the strike season of 1994, where they were 47-68 in a division of 4 teams at that time, and they were only 5.5 games out. That's how bad that division was. But they haven't been in last place, and I'm looking for when they had 6 teams in a division. Actually, the last time they were actually last in a full season, 1975, when they were 72-89, they were 6 out of 6. They had Frank Tanana still as a pitcher back then. So I'm going to spin it back negative because, good God, man, this is the worst Angels team in damn near, what did I say, 76? Or I said 75? Yeah, 75.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's nearly 50 years ago, bro.
Took you a while to do the math there.
It did. It did.
You know what? We're here to talk about the positive. Okay. You know what? You're being negative during our positive segment. You didn't even say anything about Zach Neto and his great
Look,
season.
He's good, but again,
He's great. Just like Frosted Flakes.
you got rid of Shohei Ohtani, who's going to have 55 and 55 probably.
Oh, God. I still love Shohei. Don't tell any of my Angels fans, friends. They would kill me if they knew.
I'm sick of fans like you that are just still kissing his ass while he's playing for the enemy. And then again, if he went anywhere else, I don't care if he's a nice guy or bad guy, he'd be my favorite player. But he's freaking on that team. I can't stand him. He sucks. I can't wait for continuous failure from him.
Good, Todd. Why do you hate the Dodgers? They're not even our rival. They play in the National League. We can cheer for both teams and just have a good time.
Ask a Dodger fan if they cheer for us.
Oh, God, they do all the time.
No, they don't. They don't even respect us.
That's not true. That's not true. That one girl who used to be on our show, Courtney, we love Courtney. Her boyfriend has an Angels jersey. Shh.
Listen, she wears a Dodger jersey when she goes to the games, but that's supporting of a.
We all would do that, Todd.
No.
We're not rivals. We're not rivals.
Look, when I go,
I have a 2020 shirt. Shh, don't tell anybody.
When I go to a game with Steve Elise, and it's a Niner game, and they're playing a random team, I wear like another jersey that I have, non-Seahawk, non-Niners, of course. I'm not going to wear no Niners. Last time I did, I wore a Browns jersey. So
if you had to get a Niners person from history, you had to, or you would literally die.
mm-hmm.
Who would you? Whose jersey would you get? It could be a historical person. This is just off topic.
It'd either be Joe Montana or Jerry Rice.
Okay. Jerry Rice is a good pick.
Yeah, hell yeah. He was best receiver of all time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, back to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can both agree that Zach Neto is a positive, right?
Yeah, he's a positive. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that's my one positive. I got two more. All right, the other one, Jose Soriano. Holy Toledo. That man is going to be a great pitcher for us for years to come. You can take it to the bank, as our boy Ron Washington says.
Listen, I said this season he would be a positive. Problem is they used him stupidly as a reliever / starter / 3-inning guy / starter again. They kind of blew out his arm without blowing it out, and I'm happy that he shut it down early so he doesn't risk any long-term effects. So he'll be back, I think, better than ever next year. He is a positive, but the organization screwed with him way too much. He still should be pitching, but and getting more experience, but no, they had to shut him down. And I think that was the one right decision they did with him and Joyce as well.
You know what we say here in Anaheim, it's not great unless it has Tommy John surgery. So I don't agree with you. I think they should just let him keep pitching because I need a reason to I want someone to be excited about. I mean, my big boy Detmers can't be on the mound all the time.
See, I thought this organization said TJ's not just a city in Mexico.
No, it's also a city in their arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a little bit of a dad joke there for you dads out there.
Can you go back to an everydayer show? Because I mean, this is.
I would, but Trent Rush wouldn't take my call. I don't know. I said I love Hoffy hot dogs. He just kind of hung up. Well, I think he didn't want me to say something negative.
I think it's because you called him off air instead of calling him on air. If you call him when he's at home, he might not want to answer your phone and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Why not? That's how he talks all the time. I thought like his baby wakes up from like a nap. He's like, hey. God, I would love that myself. I would love.
You're the greatest baby ever.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so we can two positives so far, right? We both agree on those positives. See, Todd, it's good to be. Come on, say it with me. Positive. Come on, one more time. Positive. You're not saying.
What's going on out here?
what the hell's going on over here is that you're being a grumpy Gus.
Just move on.
This is me virtually booping your nose. Boop.
If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo hog for life like me,
That's
then
Angels
shut up.
Jesus. That is Angels baseball Jesus right there. Okay, not to insult the actual Jesus. That's but that's
How
like the
dare
Angel
you.
version. Yeah, exactly. We just got canceled by every Catholic Christian. The final positive is going to be, and this is hard for me to do because we need pitching so bad. It's the only thing we need. We need nothing else. Brandon Drury, Rendon, perfect. Let's give Drury an extension. But that Joyce guy, Ben Joyce, that's his name. He's been great. Absolutely fantastic.
He's been shut down 3 times this season.
Yeah. I don't know why they're shutting him down. I mean, I would just kind of let him pitch all the time, unless it's for 3 straight games. You can't. You know what? Back-to-back games, I wouldn't do that either. He has to sit down, Todd. He threw 6 pitches the day before. You have to shut him down for a week, Todd. You don't understand baseball like I do. It's okay.
Look, I don't understand where this organization comes from. I've never heard of that. In fact, this series, I think we played Houston, and Houston pitched one of the relievers 4 straight days in a row.
Why would they do that? It's not.
Didn't bat an
healthy.
eye, but they didn't bat an eye. They were totally cool with it. Like, why can't we do that?
Well, they don't. They're not a winning organization over there like we are. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, you're not watching baseball again.
Nope. Baseball is from February to September, and that is it.
No, they play in October. Winning
They
teams
don't.
play in October.
They don't. They stopped doing that in 2009. I think one time in 2014 they played for like 3 games. I don't know. I didn't watch that series. I was in Cancun with my boys.
Oh my God. Is there anything that can trigger you back? Because the only thing I'm coming back right now is you got I'm looking at the franchise names and the records that the Angels have had under those franchise names. California Angels, they were 2,440 and 2,616 with 3 playoff appearances. Anaheim Angels from 97 to 2004, 664 and 632. 2 playoffs and 1 pennant and 1 World Series, obviously. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim from 2005 to 15, 991 wins, 791 losses. Pretty good.
Wait, what was the team name?
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
That's such a shitty name. Dude.
Are you back, Fernando?
Yeah, what happened?
Dude, you were wearing a Rendon jersey just a second ago, and you were saying the Angels organization was so great.
Where'd this come from?
You were wearing it.
I wasn't wearing it, dude. I've had this. I got this thing for Christmas like 4 years ago. I think I've worn it like twice.
Bro, you were wearing it. If you watched the replay, you had it on the entire time.
I don't believe you, but whatever.
Bro, you don't remember just talking about 3 positives? You were telling me how great the stadium was. Artie's the best.
What positives?
You were
The
bringing up
stadium that like smells like cigarette butts no matter where you are. The stadium where you can't even take a dump because you have to worry about somebody walking in on you because the doors don't close all the way.
Well, they could see through it because there's no protection right there. There's like an inch gap. They could look at you taking a dump.
We don't use protection.
But look, Fernando, I'm happy you're back, but someone possessed your body right now because you were completely on the A train. You were literally everything Artie said and did was the best thing since sliced bread.
I don't think that sounds like anything I would say. It's like you haven't even watched this network for the last 4 years, dude. We don't like Artie Moreno. I mean, like, yeah, we like the team, but like, we don't like Artie.
You said you called Trent Rush in his off time.
I did say that. I do remember that. There's some weird things I remember. I remember saying something about like Hoffy hot dogs, and I remember liking the Deo sound. Ugh, that gives me nightmares.
No, you said it made you rumble and tingle in places that are unmentionable.
All right, well, God, turn that crap off. Jesus, dude. Play a different soundbite for once. Anything. Literally. God, play the Dodgers anthem at this point. God, you can't go to Angel Stadium without hearing that. Just it sounds like nails on the chalkboard.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough. But you were even loving this.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
God, dude, that guy won't shut up about UCLA basketball. Nobody cares about UCLA basketball. Guy can't even talk about like USC. I mean, I don't care about that, but at least a few more people care about USC basketball. I mean, they at least had like LeBron's kid. That means at least like 17 people care about it.
Well, I mean, he talks UCLA football, and they suck, and the USC is clearly the best team in LA. But I digress. Listen, I'm just literally confused because we were supposed to go 3 negatives, 3 positives, and it's hard for us to get positivity on here. You were basically calling yourself the third fresh brother, or fourth, I guess. I didn't know they had 3, but you were integrating yourself as an an everydayer. I mean, like, you listen to the Peter Dill show? What's going on?
I've never listened to the Peter Dill show, and don't get me started on that terrible horse racing show. That's the last thing I would ever listen to.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. If it's something in the antibiotics you were taking, because I asked you about that, and you said you don't.
God, dude, can you remember when that Peter Dill guy was going to come on our show? Thank God that didn't happen.
I also remember when he said, "Hey, if you get me on the show, I'll give you a $50 gift card to one of the restaurants." I'm all, okay.
Yeah, right. Can't wait to get $50 to freaking Williams Chicken.
Yeah, then we heard from him just as much as we heard from the Halo brothers after that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Or Scott Kaplan at this point. I don't know if you saw those. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw the Kaplan when I'm like, oh, cool, he's gonna have him on the show. Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, every time he just like freaking. Well, at least Matt Vasquez responds every time.
Yeah, you'll be like, hey man, what about that? Can you want to come on and talk some historic Shohei Ohtani baseball? Yeah, vanilla ice cream is definitely my favorite over vanilla bean.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to come talk about the Angels season, how bad it's been? Yet you've had to like persevere in the booth. Like that has to be kind of tough. Isn't it kind of sad that Denny's is closing? Well, I heard the last Kmart's shutting down. It's like what?
Have
That's
you ever
not
been to the last
remotely close to
Blockbuster up in Oregon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, that's terrible. I don't know, man. The last 42 minutes have been an absolute blur, but I mean, hopefully we got some good content out of it. And
I don't know. I think we confused the hell out of our listeners if they're still listening at this point, but I would have to say you definitely need to watch the replay on this one, because I don't know if it was an out-of-body experience. What the hell? Something possessed you, because good God.
yeah, I mean, if your claims that I wore a Rendon jersey are true, I mean, something went on. But I don't know, man. We got through another episode, so I mean, I don't know what to say.
Well, this is definitely one for the books. And speaking of one for the books, we might have some news about a show that we're going to just finish out the season. I mean, obviously the Catello Chronicles Awards we do yearly on this show, probably live, giving out the awards for things that happened during the season. But I think we should have a recap on just how bad this season was. Try to pick out some highlights, but we're going to have a laundry list of lowlights.
There's no way that this isn't going. We're not going to break the record this year for worst record. I mean, we're 3 losses away, 2 from tying it, 3 from breaking it.
Yeah, we should break it. I'm pretty sure
3 out of 6. I don't know. Here's the thing: the White Sox aren't doing very hot. I still think that the White Sox will probably. I do think we win the series, but I think we get the Rally Chris special on that one.
Well, I think it'll disappoint a lot of Angel fans sarcastically, because I think if we can't at least break the record and get 96, I think fans are going to be like, damn, we can't even do that right. Because, we'll land at 95 if we win. Because I could easily see the Angels do the same thing. Get back-to-back Rally Chris specials against the White Sox and Rangers and finish with 95.
Okay, let me ask you this as we close out. Are you kind of cheering low key for us to break the loss record this season?
Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think the reason for that is we were part of history. We covered the entire season of the worst season in franchise history. And you know what? I mean, this probably sounds like something a honk would say. There's only one way up. There's only one way to go, and that's up. I mean,
Yeah,
it can't get any worse.
I mean, at this point, they can't top those teams from way back because it's like you can't be 7 of 7. At least in 1991, there were 7 teams in the division, and they were 81 and 81, 500, and that was good for last place.
That's not bad.
So
Nowadays, I'd probably get you in the playoffs. At least in some of these divisions, man. The AL Central, the NL Central, maybe. I mean,
well, right now, which is crazy, you just brought that up. 82 and 74 has you in the wild card right now.
geez, do you have the standings in front of you?
Yeah.
What are the Brewers at? Because they won. They were the first team to clinch a playoff spot this year, I think.
Which is crazy. I think when we were doing the early season stuff, we did not have the Brewers in that division lead, but they are 9.5 up at 89 and 67.
Yeah, especially not with God. Who's their manager this year? Oh, it's Pat Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Padres legend Pat Murphy. Dude, my only recollection of Pat Murphy was going, God, what year was it? Maybe 16 or 17. I think it was 2016 because Matt Kemp was still on the team. They were playing the Cincinnati Reds, and the Padres were just shitting the bed. And I remember Pat Murphy on a radio show saying, I'm just waiting for a bad team to come into town so we can take advantage of that. And I was like, oh my God. Could you imagine Mike Scioscia saying that about the Angels scuffling?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he would have had a team meeting. And
yeah, sure. Well, Washington would too, because he's like, hey, someone farted, team meeting.
Bring it in. Who farted?
Team meeting. Yep, somebody ordered the wrong DoorDash, ordered team meeting.
No, but check this out, though. I wanted to bring this up because I brought this up to your inner honk earlier, and he just dismissed it. The Colorado Rockies, because the Angels right now are sitting at 141, minus 141 in the run differential. You have the A's at 114, so they're better than us. But over in the National League, the Rockies and Marlins are tied, minus 223. The Chicago White Sox are almost 100 runs worse than those two teams in the National League. They are minus 320. They've only scored 479 and given up 799 runs.
Dude, and the worst thing for White Sox fans, I legitimately feel bad for them. They're cutting payroll again for next season. It's probably going to get worse for them.
I mean, that is going to be the new bad news Bears, you know?
I mean, we say that, but is it going to be bad news Bears for us too? Is Artie going to cut payroll? Because, I mean, you know what? Here's the difference. At least I think Artie's going to make money. And say what we want about Artie, and I mean, maybe there's just still a little bit of the honk inside of me. We don't want Artie to ever lose money. And the only reason I say that is because the second Artie starts losing money, it's going to get real bad for us. I mean, like half the amount of employees at the stadium. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if there's only 12,000 people at the ballgame. The line's going to be like 20, 30 minutes for a hot dog because, you know, they're going to cut the amount of stands in a third. You know what I mean? There's only going to be 2 parking tools open on each entrance. There's going to be, forget about Kevin Pillar. We're going to send freaking Kevin from SpongeBob. Hi, Kevin. You're playing left center and right field today, Kevin.
Yeah. You know what scares me the most about that is the MLB didn't care how bad it looked on baseball that Tampa Bay couldn't draw flies even in the postseason. They didn't care that Oakland was playing in a dump until finally this year they got to both problems in a sense. But the NFL, I wish the baseball was more like the NFL. The NFL has a problem, sees a problem. Hell, they're even talking about wanting to do something about the Carolina Panthers. They had issues with a Washington team. They got rid of the ownership. Why can't?
Yeah, but look how bad their stadium is. It's literally crumbling. I'm sure you've seen the videos.
Oh, yeah, but that's why they had to go get the new owner. The new owner is going to build a new stadium. They're going to try to revamp, and they're doing something about it. Why hasn't there been? Because
I mean,
again,
look at the Chargers. I mean, you know what I mean? They're forget about second fiddle. They're like freaking 16th fiddle in the corner, play one string, and instead of a bow, they have a freaking toothpick. You know what I mean?
but they were taken care of. At least they're in a nice stadium. They may not
That's
bring their
fair.
own fans in. They can't have, like the other fans come in, but at least they're taken care of. Like the Angels need an intervention because, like you said, if they don't spend anything this offseason, man, we already saw a lot of the fans check out. I'm sick and tired of seeing people being like, oh, I haven't watched that many Angel games. I haven't watched since May. I'm only watching Dodger games because of Ohtani. Love Ohtani. It's like, oh, like we're losing so many fans here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, things have to get worse before they get better, though. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, if all goes well, this team might be able to contend in like 2026. You know what I mean? That's if things go well. But step one is the organization just being honest. Come out this offseason and say the truth. Because last year they kind of baited all of us with like, hey, we're going to try to contend next year. And I mean, our words are forever on the internet. We kind of fell for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We were expecting something. No, we weren't expecting, something massive. I mean, yeah, maybe Otani coming back would have been the massive thing. And I wonder how much different the offseason would have been if they would have even made him an offer. But yeah, this offseason is going to be very telling. If the organization can just be honest and just say, hey, you know what, guys, we're not going to contend this year. We're not trying to contend this year. We're just going to roll with the punches again. We'll plug up some holes. We really need to work on our depth. We're going to trade for some young outfielders to, help be part of this core. Like, that's what this team needs to do. They need to identify the problems. What are the problems, Todd? We can both agree that this team needs at least one more solid outfielder. At least one more solid outfielder. You know what I mean? If Randy Arozarena wouldn't have gone to Seattle, I would have said, hey, he's having a down year. Let's take a chance on him. Let's get him from Tampa. Or, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if they're going by what you're bringing up right now and not needing too much to contend, just look at our division. Our division looks like the NL Central most years. It looks like the AL Central this year minus the shit fucks of Ohio.
Yep.
86, 87 wins is going to win you the division. So if you've got it under 90, you have a good chance of a nice revamp. Look what Detroit's doing. Detroit's holding on that last playoff spot, and they're only 8 games over 500. Could the Angels make a resurgence to get over 500 next year and at least be in the mix in late August, mid-September? Yes.
Yeah, but
they
honestly,
have to pull the
right
right
now,
thing.
that's just not something that we need to worry about right now. You know what I mean? Right now, it's put the footing and add to the foundation, because before you can even worry about sniffing the playoffs, you need to have an actual roster. Right now, there is no roster. It's literally, the freaking pickle man, the cotton candy vendor. Like, those guys are playing right now. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. I mean, we've covered this team ad nauseum this year, and you've done the post-game shows, 89% of the nights or days this year. And with that being said, there's probably guys on the roster right now that you couldn't even name, off of memory. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is. So if that's where you are in September, September, because it's time to, add 2 men to your roster, that's a little different. But, there was times this year when we were sending nobodies out there in like the middle of July and, August. It's like, it's too early for that. So I'm hoping that this year this organization addresses the depth. And I don't know what they have to do to get healthy, but they need to figure it out fast, because it's only getting worse for the Angels, through the decade.
Well said. I mean, there's not much to add to that other than, like my inner honk came out before you addressed all that stuff. I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility seeing a Tiger team nearly 100 games last year turn it around to win 82. I mean,
But see, that's a team that's been rebuilding for the last couple of years.
well, that's true.
The difference.
But they're ahead of schedule. What I'm saying is, like, next year, I think if this team were to hover at 500 or be like what, 79 and like 83 next year, we'd take that in a heartbeat. That's a vast improvement.
Do you notice that teams tend to be ahead of schedule when the organization tells their players, hey, we're in a rebuild? Why? Because the players don't feel pressure. The players are like, no, we're not. We're going to contend. That's for the guys in the clubhouse to determine. Because this is baseball. The beauty of baseball is that you can take a bunch of nobodies and make them into somebodies. And that's the only reason why we watch baseball. Football, it tends to be the same teams for that decade. And then the next decade, it'll kind of shift a little bit, right? There was a time where the Chiefs were one of the worst teams in football consistently. God, remember when they had Matt Castle? How about Brady Quinn? How about Kyle Orton? You know what I mean? There was a time when the Chiefs were terrible. There was a time when the Patriots were the best team in football. Right now, they're arguably the worst team in football, besides maybe like the Panthers. But you get my point. Same thing with basketball. Eventually the tides change. But with baseball, it's constantly changing. I mean, the Rangers were the World Series champions, and they didn't really even sniff the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they were as close as we were. And here's the thing, too. I'm looking at the standings right now. There's only one team in the American League that is thanking us on the daily for having our success compared to theirs, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays. If we had were similar record, they would easily be the most disappointing team in baseball. I think you could lump us in there, and they're actually getting away with it, because some people predicted them to be second in that division. I did. I thought they were second behind Baltimore. The Yankees would be a very close third. Boy, was I wrong on them. They've not really. I mean, they've had injuries, but nothing compared to us. It's just been bad play, overshadowed by our just losing great player after great player, myriads of injuries, and just pathetic play.
Yeah. It's been a rough half decade, really, for the Blue Jays because they were a team that for the better part of the last half decade, they were supposed to contend, right? I mean, Kevin Biggio obviously didn't work out. Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. haven't been able to really fish that organization out of.
Dude, did you, not to cut you off, but since you brought up Biggio, do you realize he's been on 5 teams this year?
Kevin Biggio?
Yeah.
I thought he was on the Dodgers still.
No, he was just let go from the Giants and he went to another team. He's been on 5 teams.
Well, we all know we shouldn't come here.
You know what's
bad? We have such an extensive record of resurrecting careers here.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know. Actually, Hunter Strickland and Kevin Pillar gave me a little bit of hope. Like, you know what? Actually, maybe Ron Washington is the guy who can resurrect careers.
Maybe, but I'm not trusting him around any kind of bank. I'll just.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Let's just say Kevin Biggio. The organization signs him this offseason and they give him a spring training invite. I mean, I can live with that. You know what I mean? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Because that's a low risk, high reward thing. I mean, who knows?
We should make an infomercial that plays after midnight that says, "Have you been designated for assignment? If so, report to Angels training camp."
Yeah, report to Angels training camp, where Artie Moreno will be there, where you can shake his cold, clammy hand.
Ooh.
Yeah, and get a Chick-fil-A gift card.
Yeah. Every player gets Chick-fil-A after every game.
Yeah, exactly. You always get medium price here.
Sauce extra.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's all I got, man. I think you wrapped it up pretty good. I mean, again, we're going to have some closeout shows and possibly some playoff shows as well. Maybe a watch party if the Dodgers go belly up. That would be fun.
Yeah, we didn't get to do. We only did what, 2 watch-alongs this year for Angels games, or was it 3?
I think it was 2 with us, and then I think me and Dom did 2 as well. So okay. I did a couple at Mezzo by myself, which could have been better. I think that has to do a lot with the fans and where we were in the standings. But
that's fair. That's fair. Hey, one day we will be able to cover a fun, exciting team.
One day. I'll have to grow my beard till then.
Oh God, yeah, you're gonna look like freaking Father Time. Your beard's gonna be like down like past your belly.
Yeah, I'll be hopping on it at times. So
yeah.
All right, Fernando. So for Todd Fox,
And the Lone Star Halo.